Hello, and thank you for joining our presentation of Apex Friendship High School's Senior Year 2022. Much will be covered in this presentation, such as graduation requirements, important calendar dates, the college admissions process, applying for financial aid, military information, and much more. The first and foremost information that a student will need to have are graduation requirements. Listed in this slide are the minimum requirements that a student will need to receive that most important high school diploma. It is important to note that low 2 levels of a second language are not an absolute requirement to graduate from high school. It is a requirement to be admitted to a 4-year college or university. For those students that are new to our school or have just not needed services in the past, we have the names of all of our 10th through 12th grade counselors listed on this slide. Also listed on the slide are staff just as important as our counselors. If their services have never been rendered before, you will definitely need them this year. So let's get into the purpose of our presentation. What are your plans after high school? Military? A career? Are your plans to transition directly into a 2 or 4-year college? Or have you considered a gap year? So what is a gap year? Believe it or not, the modern gap year can be traced all the way back to the 1960s, when students wanted the experience to travel to different countries and began backpacking around the world to discover new cultures and ways of life. In today's world, students taking a gap year refers to a student taking time off between high school and college in order to travel, volunteer, or even pick up a part-time or full-time job to help in the funding for college. It is important to note that less than 1% of college freshmen take this time off, and it is not recommended unless the student is highly motivated to continue their education the following year. Are you considering a branch in the military? You will want to reach out to Mrs. Ginn, one of our career development counselors, and sign up to take the ASVAB, a required assessment that the military uses for their recruits. Listed on this slide are 5 of our country's military branches. Each has their own functions in our military. Air Force is the nation's source of air and space power. The primary mission of the Air Force is to fly planes, helicopters, and satellites. The Army is the dominant land power. The Army generally moves into an area, secures it, and instills order and values before it leaves. It also guards U.S. installations and properties throughout the world. The Coast Guard's mission is primarily with domestic waterways. Coast Guard does rescues, law enforcement, drug prevention, and clears the waterways. The Marine Corps is known as the U.S. Rapid Reaction Force. They are trained to fight by sea and land. In the Navy, they accomplish their missions primarily by sea, but also by air and land. It secures and protects the oceans around the world to create peace and stability, making the seas safe for travel and trade. The newest branch of the military, the U.S. Space Force, was signed into law December 20th, 2019 as part of the National Defense Authorization Act. As the 6th branch of the military, the Space Force is also still in development and will be for some time as many final decisions are made. Is your plan for post-secondary opportunities to transition directly into a career? If so, make sure to reach out to Mrs. Tomey and Mrs. Ginn, our 2 career development coordinators. Both can assist with resumes, interview skills, and partaking in a career interest inventory to know what career would be best for you. Work experience and internships offer a great start to choosing the right path. Wake Tech is North Carolina's largest community college, serving more than 74,000 adults annually, with 6 campuses, 3 training centers, multiple community sites, and a comprehensive array of online learning options. Wake Tech is accredited and offers more than 200 associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates that prepare students for university transfer or immediate employment. If you are considering a community college in North Carolina for next school year, we encourage you to apply by the beginning of second semester to help ensure that you are able to enroll in your preferred courses as well as secure the best financial aid package. If your intention is to be a college transfer student, it's important to talk with an admissions advisor to discuss course and credit requirements before transferring. Though there is no specific number of colleges to apply to, there is a specific range. Admission experts say applicants should carefully weigh the number of schools when they submit applications in order to maximize their chances of being a strong candidate and to avoid the drawbacks that can come with applying to too many schools. It is recommended a student applies to at least 1 to 2 safety schools, 3 target schools, and 2 reach schools. Now, what do those terms mean? A safety school refers to those schools that are almost certain to admit all applicants. A target school implies the school is likely to take applicants similar to your scores and/or grades. A reach school describes a school that will be a competitive stretch for applicants. For example, your scores and/or grades are at the tail end of being accepted. Determine where to place these colleges based on the school's average test scores and GPA. Remember to only apply to colleges that you know well and have done your homework on. Consider application fees. Costs can run over $500 if a student applies to more than 7 schools. Applying to too few schools, such as 1 or 2, may prevent students from maximizing their financial aid offers. For example, by applying to multiple institutions, you could negotiate the aid that you're getting at one school over another. Campus visits typically are important in aiding the students in their final decision of which college to apply and/or attend. Many schools have maintained the online tours since COVID, so please check out your college to see if they are holding in-person visits. In the past, AFHS has invited representatives from colleges to our campus. However, since that cannot take place this year, make sure you are visiting AFHS's Student Services website regularly to see when colleges will be visiting our school virtually. This is a sample of the college application timeline that students and families should review for the fall of the student's senior year. AFHS has already begun the process by issuing seniors their unofficial transcript for review. Students should take this time and verify that all information on their transcript is accurate. All updated transcripts will be complete, including an updated rank by September 23rd. No transcript will be sent on behalf of AFHS until that date. In the next several slides, we will walk you through the process of these bulleted statements to assist with the application process. It's important that students understand that keeping grades up their senior year is vital. Many colleges request a mid-year report. The information that a college receives mid-year are updated GPA, class rank, updated transcript, as well as any other information that has significantly changed since the student applied. The key takeaways from this are that colleges will look closely at your first semester senior year performance. While not overly common, schools do sometimes rescind offers of admission to those with free falling grades. It really can happen. Take heed and keep those grades up. If you are applying regular decision, use this time period to shine through the first part of the year. There are many parts to filling out a college application. Make sure you gather all of the information that you will need to complete it, such as a copy of your unofficial transcript, test scores, parent or legal guardian information. Also, you will need a list of your activities, work, family responsibilities, and any academic honors and achievements you have received. You will find most colleges have their applications on the Common App, which will minimize the repetitive information you will need to enter for each college. Make sure you are applying as a first-year student, even if you have participated in the Career College Promise program in the past. Be sure to enter your full legal name when asked and submit an email address that you check often. This will be the email address that Common App and colleges will use to contact you. In directing your attention to the Common App right now, you will search for and add the colleges that you wish to apply to. Once you have added colleges, you will be able to see them on your dashboard and in your My Colleges tab. Many colleges will include short answer questions or essay prompts within the college-specific questions. A college might also include optional items to complete. Consider anything that is optional required. For this current graduating class, most colleges are not requiring any test scores for a student application. As heard by a local university, if a student submits scores, they will only be looked at if they enhance a student's application. In regards to a college application fee, the average application fee can run around $50. If you need a fee waiver, talk with your counselor for details to see if you qualify. Listed on this slide are additional areas of a student's application that may be required by select schools. If a college you are applying to requires an interview, it can be either an evaluative interview, that is where the interviewer is assessing the student candidate, or informational, which is intended to give the student information about the institution. It is not common for a college to offer an interview, but if one of your college choices does, be prepared for which type they are giving you. Make sure you have done your homework on the colleges that you are applying to and what they want included in your application. Will you need letters of recommendation from teachers, from your counselor, possibly even a portfolio for the particular major that you are applying for? Keep in mind that you should already be asking for teacher recommendations and knowing how many are needed for each college. You will need to verify that you have your recommender's correct email address as well as your counselor's. Your school counselor will fill out a school report for the colleges you are applying to once your invitation has been sent. Not all colleges need a recommendation from a counselor, but if even one of your colleges do, make sure you have filled out the senior brag sheet for counselors. This is found on the Student Services website. Keep in mind, a student's application deadline is different than a recommender's and counselor's. Do not fret if your recommendations or school profile has not been completed by the early action date. Though the Common App has been primarily talked about so far, other ways to apply to colleges are listed on this slide. For all in-state colleges, students may apply through CFNC, that is the College Foundation of North Carolina. The Coalition App, this is relatively new and is still working out certain kinks, and also directly through the school's website. One of the questions that arises every school year is the uncertainty of early decision and early action. Students need to pay close attention if they are applying through early decision. This is a legally binding agreement between you and a college in which you agree that you will attend that institution should they offer you admission. You can only apply to one college through early decision. If you are accepted, you must withdraw all of your other applications to other colleges. There is no real way to get out of this contract except if you truly can't afford to go. If accepted under early decision, students also lose the ability to compare aid packages across multiple schools. The advantage of early decision is that applicants are accepted at rates of 10 to 12% higher than regular decision applicants. Students that apply through early action do not have a binding agreement. The student is applying early to college in order to receive an early response to their application. Students typically like the benefit of applying early action so they are able to relax for the remainder of their senior year, knowing that they have already gained admission to a college of their choice. Students may also take the time they need to decide which college is best suited for them and best suited financially for their family. In choosing early action, there is no limit on the amount of colleges that you may apply through this process. For students applying to out-of-state schools, they must also take this extra time to consider other costs that may be financially limiting for them, such as traveling back home during breaks, health insurance costs, financial aid that the college will offer, just to name a few. A must for all students applying to a college or university is sending their transcript, whether a student is applying in-state or out. The College Foundation of North Carolina offers transcripts for every college within North Carolina, private, public, 2-year or 4-year. In applying to colleges that are out of state and not using the Common App, students will need to use Scriborder to issue those transcripts. It's important to note that final transcripts cannot be issued by counselors. Students must submit a request for in-state schools via CFNC and Scriborder or out-of-state schools. For those students that are applying for NCAA or scholarships, those requests need to be made either through Mrs. Calhoun, our registrar, or through Scriborder. For those students and families interested in applying during NC Free Application Week, this year it is taking place during the week of October 18th through the 22nd. Students must complete their college application through cfnc.org and be completed by 5 p.m. on October 22nd. Many colleges will be participating during this free application week. Financial aid. For most students planning to attend college or career school, financial aid is essential. What is it and who applies for it? Let's begin with the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. Your college uses your FAFSA data to determine your federal aid eligibility. Many states and colleges use FAFSA data to award their own aid as well. After you have submitted your FAFSA, you will receive your student aid report that the colleges will use. The application period for the FAFSA opens on October 1st of this year. You will want to complete it as soon as you are able. Federal aid is based on need as well as first-come, first-served basis. You will need to have several documents at your fingertips in order to complete this application, such as your Social Security number, your parents' Social Security number, federal tax information or tax returns, including the IRS W-2 information that was submitted for this tax year, and more. You may find all of the information regarding FAFSA at fafsa.ed.gov. The CSS profile is an online application that collects information used by nearly 400 colleges and scholarship programs to award non-federal aid. Again, the application opens October 1st. Before completing the CSS profile, make sure that it is required by any of your colleges or scholarships. If you and your family have questions or need assistance in completing the FAFSA, Mrs. Linda Brennan is our financial aid representative for Apex Friendship. Students and families may sign up for appointments using Google Meet. You may find all of the information needed to schedule an online appointment on the Student Services website. CFNC is also offering a FAFSA Day on October 27th from 9 until 12 for families that need assistance in the completion of their application. You may find more information regarding this on www.cfnc.org. There are several other types of financial aid. A grant is a form of financial aid which does not have to be repaid. A variety of federal grants are available, including Pell Grant, for example. Many nonprofit and private organizations offer scholarships to help students pay for college or career school. This type of free money can either be based on academic merit, talent, or a particular area of study. Some students are able to take part in a work study, which allows them to earn money to pay for school by working part-time. When you receive a student loan, you are in essence borrowing money to attend a college or career school. You must repay the loan as well as all of the interest that accrues with it. There are many different sources for students to find scholarship opportunities, such as FastWeb, Big Future, CFNC, and the list goes on. FastWeb is a very good online resource when it comes to paying for and preparing for school. They have scholarships for every type of student, from the high school freshman to the returning adult. FastWeb has been around for over 20 years and has earned a reputation as a leading scholarship search provider. FastWeb not only finds scholarships, but offers an account members information on financial aid, jobs and internships, student life, and more. This is a 100% free website. When you register for FastWeb and complete your online profile, data is collected that is used to match you to scholarships they have in their database. The information that FastWeb asks for pertains to scholarships in their database. By providing them with this information, FastWeb can rule out any scholarships that you don't qualify for and match you with the ones that you do. ScholarSnap, this is a scholarship very much like FastWeb, where it allows you to fill out much of the standard content which is requested in many online scholarship applications. It saves this data in one centralized place in the cloud and allows you to reuse the content for other scholarship applications without requiring you to retype your personal information for each subsequent application. Keep in mind, when creating accounts for scholarship sites, limit the amount that you do. Also consider creating an email account specifically for your educational organizations, such as these scholarship sites, to send you their information and updates. In doing so, your primary email account will not be inundated with information and subscriptions that you will more than likely not need after the school year. Students that might be considering on attending either NC State or UNC Chapel Hill and are academically ranked in the top 5% of our class may nominate themselves for the Park or the Morehead Cain scholarships. The Park Scholarship, as well as the Morehead Cain, have their own application, separate from the college admission application. The deadline to apply is October 15th. These are only two of several full-ride scholarships that are available across our state for students to apply to. If you are interested in learning more about merit scholarships and which colleges offer them, please look at our Student Services website or the link found in our Senior Google Classroom. North Carolina partially subsidizes the cost of NC Public College and University tuition for all students who have permanent legal residence in North Carolina. The Residency Determination Service will determine if a student should have in-state or out-of-state tuition in North Carolina schools. Students that have demonstrated a minimum of 12 months of uninterrupted domicile in North Carolina are eligible for in-state tuition. This service enables a student to use one residency determination for admission applications to multiple North Carolina public colleges and universities. It will allow the student to demonstrate residency for state aid programs at all, both public and private, North Carolina colleges and universities. Students considering on playing a sport in college must have registered with the NCAA and be certified by the NCAA Eligibility Center to compete at an NCAA Division I or II school. Before you can make official visits or sign a national letter of intent, you must have completed the certification account registration, including payment or fee waiver. AFHS will upload your official transcript to your Eligibility Center account once you are registered. Students should have also submitted their SAT or ACT scores to the Eligibility Center using code 9999. Please see Mr. Lane in Student Services for any further questions. For the 2021-2022 school year, Wake County will be allowing senior exam exemptions for any course that does not require state testing and for which the student has earned a final average in the course of a C or better. Absences will not be considered in the determination of the exemption. You've made it! Senior year. You've worked hard and completed all of your requirements to graduate. You deserve to walk across the stage and receive your diploma. Don't let prior engagements or missed rehearsal ruin that chance and crush your dreams of being handed your diploma in front of hundreds of well-wishers. This school year, Wake County has planned on graduations taking place at the Raleigh Convention Center. In order to attend your graduation ceremony, it is mandatory that students attend the graduation rehearsal. It will be vital to listen to announcements both in homeroom and online when our dress rehearsal will take place. Then on graduation day, Tuesday, June 14th, students must arrive by 3 p.m. at the Raleigh Convention Center for our ceremony, which will take place at 4 p.m. Students and families that arrive late will not be allowed into the building. For some last-minute housekeeping, listed here is the Google form for students to complete if they are applying to a school that requires a counselor recommendation in addition to the general school report. Our school counselors at AFHS have created a dedicated Google Classroom for our graduating seniors of 2022. Only students with their Wake County email are permitted to join. Make sure you have joined in order to receive much more information for the school year. New information will be posted weekly. The classroom code is H6XY2LW. Thanks for watching, and please reach out to your counselor with any further questions.